everyone, this is Niki Rowland for Shimmerz Paints, and today I am making a Valentine's layout. So this is actually not taken on Valentine's Day, this photo, but we were out on a date night, and as we rarely get date nights, and we definitely won't get one on Valentine's Day, I am scrapping this photo. Okay, so I'm starting off with a cut file by Paige Evans. It's just from the Silhouette store, and I've cut it from Marshmallow cardstock, and I've cut it quite big, so it's going to be a very large main feature on my page. And I've decided to colour it in different colours of Shimmerz paints. So I'm using a mixture of Inklingz and Creameez. I will list them below, but they are the lightest colour at the top there is Boo Inklingz, and that's the colour I started with. Then I go a bit darker to Strawberry Fields Creameez, then Trippin in the Tropics Creameez, and then I move on to the red, which is Naughty or Nice Inklingz, and then I have two blues, which is I have one blue, Steely Blue Eyes Inklingz, and a silver, so No One's Chrome Inklingz. So I've basically just put water in all of those paints, and I've let them sit for a few minutes, and now I'm ready to start painting. So I'm literally just picking up my paintbrush and just literally picking the colour out of the pot directly and putting it onto the cut file. So it's nice and easy to paint onto. It's a smooth cardstock, really easy. I'm adding water where I need to spread the colour around. It does take a reasonable amount of time to cover this whole thing in colour, because I'm using a tiny paintbrush, and I could wash over it with a giant paintbrush, but I want my areas to be, I want to control where I put my paint, basically is what I'm saying. I could also use the packaging technique here too, but I thought that on this occasion it would be easier to work with a paintbrush and colour, because the packaging technique you'll lose so much of the paint between the gaps. So yeah, I'm just using a paintbrush to literally paint in the areas that I want them. So I keep spritzing and adding water just to spread the colour around a bit more, also to make it a little bit lighter. You can see that I don't have the right sized craft sheet, I have a tiny one, so therefore I'm having to keep moving my my heart cut file around to make sure that I don't get too much paint on my background on my table, but yeah, it's working out fine, and I think once I leave it to dry, I'm just going to put it onto a piece of paper and set it to one side to dry. So yeah, just carrying on now with the blue. So I'm using this I'm on the silver now. So I've done the blue and now I'm on the silver, and I'm just that's it. It's all done now, and I'm going to leave it to sit and dry, and then I will come back to it when it is completely dry. Oh, before I do leave it to dry, sorry, I put it onto a bigger piece of paper and then added some splatters in various colours, just to give a slightly different texture or look on top of the paint that was already drying. So I've done that in one of the pinks, and I've done that in the blue Steely Blue Eyes colour as well. So now I'm going to leave it to one side to dry. Okay, so it's all dry now, and I have placed it onto a piece of pink cardstock to try out as my background, and then I decided I didn't like it, so I've gone for a white background instead, and I have a pink piece of paper behind the cut file, so it's a torn strip across the whole page there, and I've just placed my cut file on top. I've stuck it all down, and I've started to build up a few pieces of embellishment. So I have my photo, which is mounted onto a journaling card, and I have two large hearts in the top right corner of the photo. I have a chipboard heart, then I have love you lots tag, so quite a few bits and pieces going on there. I'm actually using La La Love, which is a crepe paper collection from last year, so from 2019 Valentine's collection. I for some reason didn't have much of the new Valentine's collections from this year at the time of making this video, so I went back through my old stash and found some products that I hadn't used yet. So I really loved this collection at the time, so it's also nice to revisit a collection that I loved so much. Okay, so I've also pulled out a few bits from a new box club that I've been subscribing to, and it has lots of little bits and pieces in. So I've pulled out some labels and a chalk sticker and some gems and some, yeah, lots of little cute things were in that kit. So that's what I'm using. There's a few of them sat there now. And I'm just to say, going through, working out what I'd like to use. It also had this cute little pom-pom trim. It's really tiny pom-pom trim, really super tiny pom-poms in red, and I'm sticking that now underneath my photo. So it's just trimming the bottom edge of my photo. I would normally sew pom-pom trim in place, but on this occasion I've just stuck it. It's so small that I didn't think I would get it through my sewing machine properly. I didn't think it would look right. I'd have to have sewn super duper close to the edge of the card because it's such a tiny amount of trim. So I thought I wouldn't do that this time. I would just stick it in place, and it seems to have held fine. So just adding in a few label stickers there. One says I love you the most, one says you are my favourite, and I've got over to the left of the photo, I've got a strawberry, I've got some chipboard flowers, I've got an XO sticker, yeah, I'm now just adding underneath those two label stickers I've put in, I've got the heart-shaped sunglasses, which are super cute. Now moving up to the top right of the layout, extending the cluster or the spray of embellishments up there. So I've added a silver glittery heart. I've got a chipboard banner that says La La Love You. That's a blue one. And then I've added some die cut stars and some star shaped gems. Yeah, I'm just basically building on what I've got. Now I'm adding a couple of acrylics. They're keys. They came in a February box for acrylics, they are, I've used a red key and a white key. The set came with some envelopes and locks. Maybe not locks, I can't remember. But I had the keys left over, I didn't use them, so I thought I would use them on here. It goes really nicely with the Valentine's layout. So I'm just tying some silver twine or thread through those keys so that to look like they're kind of dangling down from something or on a keychain. So I've just wrapped around the thread several times through the holes, and then I'm just now getting those stuck in place. Yeah, it's coming on okay. I love the pops of black on a layout like this. I think it kind of adds drama. So I'm adding some word stickers or some letter stickers, sorry, and I'm writing in my title that's going to be date night. So they are little tile alpha stickers. They're not from the La La Love collection. They're from the one of the boxes that I had this month. So just used my title that way, adding in some tiny gems now and some enamel dots. And just basically seeing what else I can get onto this layout. So they're just coming in with some more enamel dots now. They are little grey hearts. I've had these are years old actually. I've had these for years. So one says fun, one's got a doily on, one's got stripes. But yeah, they're all greys and turquoises. Well, the turquoises didn't go with this layout, but the grey ones were perfect. So I'm just highlighting some of the shapes in my cut file. I'm just going around with a black pen and just literally drawing around the inside edge of some of the semicircles, just to give a bit of extra definition here and there. I haven't done all of them. I've just picked out a few as features. Yeah, I thought it's quite funky, it looked quite nice. So just kind of highlighted some of the details in that cut file. Okay, so carrying on, adding a few more embellishments here and there, just toying around with whether or not I can use some of these. Just adding a little label sticker there that says feeling wonderful, which is nice. Then I'm now adding a little star sticker as well. So these are really cute. I mean, I would have preferred hearts, but stars were really sweet too, and went really nicely. So now I'm going back to my La La Love stash from last year to see what I can use from there. I'm just settling on another silvery heart, a couple of those actually. I'm also still fiddling around with enamel dots, and also just going to add some other bits and pieces from this sticker sheet too. So the more silver glitter the better. I've used silver thread on my layout instead of gold because of the silver accents in this collection that I've used. I also used gold Shimmerz, sorry not gold, silver Shimmerz paint, the No One's Chrome Inklingz, so therefore silver was definitely the best metallic accent colour to use on this layout rather than gold. I do love gold, I use it quite a lot, but on this occasion silver was most definitely the way forward. So I've just realised that some of my layout isn't actually stuck down, so I'm just adding some foam dots here and there where I need a bit of extra adhesive to keep them in place. Yeah, just keeping going. Just adding a glittery XO here. That kind of forms not quite part of my title, but definitely reads hugs and kisses, you know what that means. We are having a nice romantic evening out all by ourselves, no children. It was amazing, courtesy babysitting courtesy of my parents. This was when we were in Florida, and our Christmas present was a date night, so we had dinner out and a movie. So it's something that we literally never do. Can't remember the last time we did that. So on our own. So yeah. Okay, so just pretty much my clusters is finished now. So I'm just going in and adding some more paint. I wanted to add some splatters onto my cut file, doesn't need it, but my background did, and around the clusters. So I've just used strawberry Fields Creameez to add a few splatters around that right hand side of the layout where I've got all of my clusters there. So at this point I decided that my background needed some extra colour. So I have taken my white background and I've stuck it onto a piece of Valentine's paper, that's crepe paper La La Love, I've stuck it at an angle and I'm just roughing up the edge, just stressing the edges a little bit. I should have done that before I stuck it, so I'm just using my fingernail, that's when false nails come into play. They're really useful, try to use my scissors there too. And I'm just turning the layout over now and trimming off the excess white pieces that I have hanging off the back of that 12 by 12 patterned paper. So just did that. So I have this kind of funky angled border around the layout now on two sides, and now I'm just handwriting in my journaling. So I didn't really have anywhere to write my journaling, so I've chosen to go for some of the gaps in the cut file, so some of the semicircles, and I filled up 3 of them with my journaling. Lucky I write tiny, and then I added some little hearts doodles down the bottom as well. Okay, so that is me done. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I will list all the paint colours that I used below. Don't forget that if you place an order via the Shimmerz store, put my name in the comments to receive a freebie. Happy days. Okay, so again, thank you so much for joining me today. That was Niki Rowland for Shimmerz Paint.